Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, Friday, May 8th, 2020. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brain. Somehow, another week has passed. And even in these plague times, there are certain constants. Astronomy Cast, for instance, it's still here. We'll be airing a new episode later today. Spring still means allergy season, so we can all expect a few sniffles in our future. And of course, with a new rover on the way, I can expect multiple news items in my inbox assuring me day after day that NASA's Perseverance rover is still preparing to launch. Honestly, it's starting to feel like this mission is a little bit desperate. You okay, Perseverance? We still love you, even if COVID causes delays. Really, it's okay. You don't need to email me every day, Perseverance. Really, it's okay. Anyways, we're also continuing to see truly amazing science and imagery coming out of MeerKAT. In a new paper accepted for publication in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, a team led by William Cotton looks at X-ray-shaped radio galaxies and identifies, a possible cause for their shape. In earlier data, these X-shaped objects, they just looked like a plain old X in the sky, and folks trying to explain them reached for ideas like twin supermassive black holes, each with their own radio jets being tangled in the core of a merging system. In that situation, 4 distinct jets, 2 per supermassive black hole, would be emerging from the system. But in new, exquisitely detailed images from MeerKAT, we see that's probably not the case. Instead, these images make it clear that, at least in the case of PKS 2014-55, this is a single galaxy with 2 jets that are being twisted by fate, or at least by galactic rotation. These images appear to show that material previously ejected from the galaxy is now falling back, and as it falls back, it's getting pushed off to the side. Imagine, for instance, a spinning record. Now, not just a regular spinning record, but one with a little tiny fountain in its center. If the material from that fountain tried to fall back onto the disk, it would get shunted off horizontally. In the case of this X-shaped galaxy, the fountain is many times bigger than the spinning disk. But the final result is really the same. The infalling material gets spun off to the side. Now, as a reminder, the incredible science MeerKAT is doing, stuff like figuring out what's up with this crazy X-shaped system with material falling in and getting spun off to the side as we look in at the youngest parts of the jets in the core. This amazing imagery is just a hint of what is yet to come. MeerKAT is a precursor to the future square kilometer array. And MeerKAT, with its technology testbed, is only giving us a hint of what we'll see in the future. And I can't wait to see what details we'll get when this bigger radio array is built across all of southern Africa. The evolution of telescopes allows us to get ever more detailed images of objects near and far, and sometimes it is the most familiar objects that hide the most amazing surprises. From 2016 to 2019, a suite of telescopes on and off this world all trained their detectors at Jupiter. In a new publication in the Astrophysical Journal Supplement series, there are revealed amazing features. This work was led by UC Berkeley's Michael Wong, and it used the Gemini Observatory in Hawaii in combination with the Hubble Space Telescope to image Jupiter from the ultraviolet all the way out to the infrared. These images allow planetary scientists to peer deep into the clouds, spying details in storms that are otherwise lost in Jupiter's beige bands. These images are now being used to provide context to the smaller but higher resolution images being acquired by the Juno mission. Now, while the science coming out of this is cool, it's allowing new meteorological models, for instance, of lightning storms and so much more. While all that science is cool, what has me really excited is the release of these images to the public. All of us can explore these images through the Space Telescope Science Institute's archive. The specific links will be posted on dailyspace.org when this episode is shared. Now, our last story of the day is one that makes this Friday feel a little bit like Groundhog Day. Alongside the steady stream of daily perseverance updates, we're also seeing a continuing stream of comets appearing and disappointing. Comet SWAN is the latest great hope for a naked eye comet to disappoint. Lost to the northern hemisphere's twilight, this morning object had been a stunning southern hemisphere object. And observers were taking amazing photos. It now appears that our hopes for it to get closer and brighter are partially dashed. It's still going to get closer. It's the brighter part we're going to have to worry about. We here in the north had hoped that we'd be able to share in the show as this object got bright enough to appear above our twilight. Now it appears SWAN has undergone an outburst not too different from Atlas's, and that it too may have shed some of its materials or started to disintegrate. We don't know the details yet, but observers are reporting that SWAN is fading in brightness as it gets closer to us and to the sun. Yeah, it's getting fainter. It's still visible in telescopes for now, but it likely will linger around 6 magnitude, where it will be lost in the twilight and not entirely a naked eye object. Now, while it looks like SWAN is set to disappoint, another comet, NEOY C2020F3, is gaining attention. Now at magnitude 11, this object already has a coma 5 arc minutes across. Located in Lepus and headed toward Orion, this object may reach magnitude 3 or even as bright as 2.5 in mid-July. Currently, its motion carries it into the northern hemisphere later on this summer, and it will be reaching Lynx and Ursa Major as it reaches its brightness. Please don't fall apart, Neowise. Please? Okay. That's all I've got for today. Go ahead, type your questions in, and while you do, I am going to remind you, this episode of The Daily Space was written by me, Dr. Pamela Gay, and we are a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. The video for this episode will be produced by our own Paranor, Tim Hawken, and I'll do a stab at the audio later today. Other than that, throw me your questions. I'll do what I can to answer them. I like Keeper of Maps. Another comet? I'm not listening. La, 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 la. Yes, this is true. Larry, I don't think SWAN is birthing little swans, but it might be shedding snowballs. Yeah. I'm just gonna put the pictures of Jupiter back up because those can at least give us hope. Jupiter's not going anywhere. Comets are sources of deception and sadness. Bad Panda writes, maybe the Perseverance press people are getting lonely. Hanny wrote, maybe they've run out of things to clean. And Keeper sadly writes, I think they're trying to stay on the radar so their funding doesn't get cut. Yeah, I suspect that what we're seeing is a common phenomena where NASA does everything it can to have constant good publicity. We currently live in a nation, or at least I do. Some of you are happily elsewhere. We live in a nation where our government looks at what your media rankings are. How many headlines did you gather? This is how success is measured. And if NASA can get the high ratings, can get the big Twitter counts, well, the phrase NASA numbers exists for a reason. And NASA numbers evaluates you based on how many people you reach out and touch with your information. Send out more information, you're going to touch more people. Especially if you count the 10,000 people who read one tweet as one set of 10,000 people and the 10,000 who read another tweet as another 10,000. NASA numbers. The more you know, the more you sometimes hate everything. Anyways, there is a National Academy study on that. If you ask me on Discord, I will dig up the list to the links to that National Academy study. Yeah. Thank you, Keeper, for the happy Blur's Day bits. I have to admit, all the doggos are upstairs. The sun has come out and the neighbors' kids are chalking up their driveway because, let's face it, getting kids outside, no matter what the purpose is getting them outside. And so there are magnificent murals in the process of being made and doggos to bark at the kiddos making the art. Although it sounds like currently they are upstairs. They came back in. So Max is asking, do you have a YouTube? Yes, we do. I don't remember our link, but yes, we do. We're just CosmoQuest X on YouTube. Hold on, I'll find the link. This be us, Max, if you're still here. All right, let's see what other questions we have down here. Hello, Jillian. Oh man, you don't have an option for slower quality. We haven't changed anything here, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Привет. Kirov. Привет. Okay, Tom had an amazing idea. Isn't it time that we stop waiting for Mother Nature and just launch our own artificial comet? Look, glaciers are already few and far between. Turning them into a comet may not be our best idea, but that sure would be amusing. So Larry asks, has there ever been a first magnitude comet? Ever? Yes, there's been way brighter than first magnitude comets. For instance, the one that probably brought an end to the Bronze Age. Comet Enki fell to pieces epochs ago. And it is thought that one of the chunks of Comet Enki may have hit the Earth in Saudi Arabia and effectively brought an end to the Bronze Age as it did. So yes, historically, really bad things have happened. And there's a song that was something like The Stars Over Alabama, I think. The Stars Fall Over Alabama, that was about the Earth passing through the tail of a nearby comet, causing a outrageously bright meteor shower. Let me look this up. Stars fell on Alabama. It was related to the Leonid meteor shower of November 1833. Let me look this up. Sorry, I don't remember the details on this one. So the meteor shower of 1833 was basically inignorable. I'm trying to find more references to it. So it wasn't actually through the tail of the comet. I misremembered that. I know there have been. I'm sorry, I'm just not able to pull it up in real time right now. It has happened. Let's see. So null denominator, which of Fraser's attitudes are you referring to when it comes to space probes and comets? Oh no, I'm sorry, Rajluthra. I'm sorry. Sometimes time zones are not our friend. Is that a mistake I made? So we are normally 6 UTC, but daylight savings time failed us. I'm so sorry, Raj. We'll work on getting that fixed in all of our internal places. Oh. I like the way Annie's Warber put, throwing a glacier into a cometary orbit would be more confusing to aliens than Starman. That is probably true. It would also be way harder to do. Yes, Stars Fell in Alabama is a song. That is also true. So Tropical Tom asks, was the Earth passing through the tail of any comets when this pandemic started? So the pandemic started in November. Let's see. November meteor showers. So it would have been the Leonids. Blame everything on the Leonids. It's just that simple. So yeah, I was born during the Gemini meteor shower, and so I always am amused by the comets, our portents of doom and gloom. That may explain my luck with solar eclipses. Hello, macaroon granola. You have a very tasty username. A very tasty username. Can you tell that the next thing I do today is eat lunch? Oh, I'm sorry, Julian, that you're having... Jillian. I'm so sorry that you're having so much bad luck with your internet. Oh, wait. Using a shaped nuclear charge on a small asteroid beyond the frost line in the solar system to make a comet is one heck of an idea. What would it take for Earth to get a sighting spring? Was it special or just big? Sighting Spring is an observatory, and there are numerous comets named Sighting Spring. Can you give me more words, Hanny? What it would take to get another Sighting Spring observatory is an infusion of cash and a tall mountain. Other than that, it doesn't take much to get an observatory. May the 26th is astronaut launch from KSP. Anyone know of anyone anywhere to view launch nearby? Yes, Titusville. Titusville is an excellent place, and there's also a really good bridge near the Cape Canaveral cruise line port heading towards Titusville from the south that you can look out from the bridge and see the launch pads and the very Vehicle Assembly Building, the VAB. You can see the Vehicle Assembly Building off in the distance. And yes, it's KSC. I said the wrong thing. So yeah, Titusville is the place where all the people in the know go to watch. All the people not in the know go to Cocoa Beach. Glad we could help. Null denominators. Like, I was confused how we were going to get close to Kerbal. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Friday. It's Blur's Day, actually. And I don't have any coffee. I have a mug full of Cheerios, and I have no dogs because they abandoned me. So are you talking about Port Canaveral just north of Cocoa Beach? Yes. So Cocoa Beach is fine. You have a perfectly fine view. There are some nicer beaches in Titusville. Dateline, Titusville Bridge collapse under weight of nerds. So Keeper is sharing the directions to the bridge in question. AstroWise puts, oh no, now I'm afraid there's going to be another COVID outbreak. Yeah, that's actually a real concern. There's one of the current controversies and emotional tortures is NASA is like, everyone, stay the hell away. Do not come to Florida. Stay away. Do not come. Do not be here. That is NASA over and over and over. We do not want you. We are closed. Do not come to here. But the sheriff of the county around there is like, come, we're opening the beaches. We're good. And that dichotomy between the sheriff's office and NASA is the difference between people worried about health and people worried about the economy. The economy down there is seriously suffering as people don't show up as tourists. They rely on tourism to keep the economy going. So a lot of the we will live forever people worried about the economy are like, come. Whereas the folks at NASA who already live a troubled enough life on the edge of being canceled at any moment are just like, hell no, do not do it. And we understand statistics and epidemiology, so hell to the hell no. So yeah. Yeah, I have mixed feels. So if you do go, I saw this fabulous thing that is being done by an Amsterdam restaurant where in order to create safe places for patrons to dine, they got a whole bunch, and let me see if I can find a link to this. They got a whole bunch of small greenhouses. There we are. This was a story on CNN. So I would, if I were you, and I'm not you, but if I were you, I would go to Home Depot or Walgreens or one of those places and get one of these adorable little greenhouses if you're going to go see the launch, and set up the little greenhouse and lock yourself in and stay safe in a tiny greenhouse. Better yet, rent a pickup truck, assemble one of these in the back of the bed, and just hang out in your own little enclosed space. So this is the only way I see to do stuff like this safe, is to get yourself a baby greenhouse, not let anyone other than yourself in, and enjoy life from an enclosure. Yeah, Larry is like, my feel's not mixed. Pure build, rage, stay home. Yeah, it's just, I hate everything. Yeah, Tropical Tom is like, I'm not getting off my motorcycle. I do not want to stay informed. Okay, stop it. Stop it, CNN. Okay. More Jupiter. So yeah, it is probably a very hot enclosure for Florida sun, but it also is relevant for many other things. So I want more sidewalk cafes. If we're going to force businesses to reopen, get greenhouses. This is like personal space is the only way we're going to keep each other safe. Anyways, we have now wandered far afield. I need to record this episode for our podcast. Folks, we do a podcast. It's really good. Can you subscribe? Can you leave a review on iTunes? Can you let other people know we have a podcast? I'm really trying to get the numbers up in our podcast. We are not where I would like to be. And the only way we're going to grow is if we can hit that threshold where iTunes is like, oh, we're going to promote you. And Spotify is like, oh yeah, we'll promote you. So please, yes, it's on Google Play too. Leave us reviews and help us grow. And welcome and thank you for the following macaroon granola of tasty username. There are one-person bubbles. There's a fabulous story about dating in Italy involving a one-person bubble. Things to look up. But I'm going to go record our podcast. But before I do, let's see who is out there that we might invade their streams. Do you have any recommendations? I see EJ is streaming. Does that work for you guys? Shall we raid EJ? Thank you, Wayne Johnson. I have no dogs. I'm not going to eat their Cheerios, but thank you. Thank you. Oh, bother is on. Why does it never silly computers. There we go. We are rating Oh Bother. Thank you so much, Midge, for the sub. Thank you so much. Or Mig, I'm not sure. Welcome. Okay, we're going to raid. Go forth wherever you are in the world. Have a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon. Wash your hands. Wear a mask if you go outside. And for the love of everyone else, stay inside if you can. Bye-bye.